Hi, my name is Mark Sangbush. I lived in Detroit for 10 years, but I now live in Brooklyn, New York. And I would like to recommend Brian Tillman to have a website. I think he's a very under-recognized artist in Detroit. I met him in '04, '05 and showed him at my gallery 101 Up. I loved the work he was doing then. I loved his attitude and means of expression with his older work that I don't think he's doing anymore, but his jazz-influenced paintings I thought were very positive, and I think he should show more. I don't think he should be curating as much, even though that's very cool, but his involvement with 555, 4731, his affiliation with James Dozier, he's always at the openings, he's always talking to people, which is great. And he's been in the scene for a long time. I think people should see his artwork more so that they can associate that with his person.
Thanks so much, man.
Well, as I was recommended, I feel I can safely recommend James Dozier. As well as being a fine artist, he has been a staple in the community, as well as an integral part of the information that goes out to the community. Without it, a lot of people just wouldn't know where to go on what day, because so much is going on in the community, and it makes him an essential part of the community. No one does it like Dozier. He's very punctual. He's like an essential condiment to all the art openings. His artwork is fine and cutting edge, especially the way he used the way he prints his photos, his computer graphics onto metallic surfaces like aluminum. And he had a show recently at Motor City Review, which had one of his favorite pieces on it. I hear he's going to plan on doing another show sometime in the year. I'm looking forward to that. And he's a very, very outgoing guy. He's just a big bear, and I love him. I'm sure everyone else will too. Just ask him for an email. He'll put you on his list, and then you can have a weekend itinerary. Already visiting projects or openings or theatrical releases. Dozier's on top of all that, and he works very hard to keep up with the latest events in the city of Detroit.
All right. Hi, my name is James H. Dozier. Have everyone call me Dozier. I'm an artist, a lover of art and culture in our cultural community known as Detroit. I selected the artist Mario Moore. And I selected Mario because I feel that his work is of exceptional quality. And I find it also quite engaging. He's a very young artist, recently graduated from the College for Creative Studies. He's an artist who shows to me considerable depth, skill, and the ability to create works that are quite engaging, in my opinion. I find his work to be quite sophisticated for an artist of his age, and I feel that his work was going to grow in its richness over time. And that is the reason why I selected him, because I feel others should be aware of Mario's work and that they should hopefully support him in his endeavors. Thank you.
All right, my name is Mario Moore, and I am recommending Richard Lewis for the next webpage because he's such a great artist. He's been in Detroit for a long time. He went to New York, went to Yale, Studio Museum of Harlem, and he is just amazing. People need to see his work. He needs to get a webpage. He doesn't have one. He's on Facebook, but beyond that, he represents his family in his portraits and his paintings, and his color is amazing. He just needs a lot more exposure than he's getting right now, and I think he's a great, great artist.
Hello, I'm Richard Lewis, realist painter, jazz enthusiast, and film buff. My recommendation for the next page is Sabrina Nelson. I had written out the reason, I can't remember it too well, but one thing I do remember is that my favorite writer, James Baldwin, once said that the world is literally held together by the love and passion of a very few people. And and Sabrina Nelson is one of those people. Now, when Baldwin wrote it, he was lamenting that there are too few people doing the work that she's doing, really literally holding this city together. And if you're a Facebook friend of hers, you'll know what I'm talking about, how she really rallies Detroit awake every morning, keeps us going all day, and then says goodnight at the end of the day. So that and the fact that she's an excellent artist, has been for a very long time. She's very underappreciated as an artist. What I like most about it is her personal take on the African Atlantic tradition. I would liken it to, and don't take this too much to heart, but I liken it to the way that Rembrandt interprets the Bible. That's how Sabrina interprets the Orisha, the African Atlantic spirits, in a very personal, very bold and direct way, and very painterly too. If you see her work, her technique is really beautiful. But I also like her total immersion in color and texture, and the intelligence that's expressed through her work, which is the way she lives also. So I hope that makes sense.
I'm Sabrina Nelson. I am recommending or suggesting Erin Martinez, formerly Erin Moran, because I love her. Her work is amazing. She's got sort of this woman warrior spirit, not sort of, but completely has it. She's a very hard worker, and I think her work is luscious. I think it's beautiful. It's complex, it's simple, it's got layers, it's got a lot of the same things that her personality has. It looks like it's definitely loved, nurtured, and also somewhat tortured in a sense, but not abused, but definitely overworked. So that's why I want to suggest her, because I just think she's an amazing artist, and even if she doesn't know it, I know it. So I want others to know it. So that's it.
Are you ready? All right. My name is Erin Moran Martinez. I'm going to recommend Liz Sutton for the next webpage, because Liz, I feel like, is one of those people who works really, really quietly, but very, very diligently on her work, and she doesn't hardly ever seek any recognition for her work, her artwork, or even the work that she does here at the organization at 555. She's just she's very satisfied with just getting the work done. So I really respect that a lot about Liz, and I also know that she doesn't take a whole lot of time to promote herself. So I think she very much deserves to be promoted and celebrated with the work that she makes. So that's why I'm recommending Liz.
The artist I'm going to choose next is Miss Kathleen Rashid. I work at the DIA, and I work with some amazing female artists, all very inspirational. But I have to say that Kathy, besides extremely admiring her beautiful paintings, I own a few of them, and her pastels and her crayon rubbings and all the printmaking stuff that she does, I find in the last couple years that we have been getting into lots of good projects together, the latest one being the Neon Rouge, making houses and buildings of Detroit for our heads. So she's a really inspirational artist. She's always walking the streets of Detroit. She's always examining things very closely and making just amazing, amazing paintings out of the things we use and see every day, and just completely transforming them. And I know that she would never ever think to have anyone document her work like this, so she might be kind of mad at me. But Kathy, it'll be fun. You'll like it. Cedric's nice, you know that.
Okay, my name's Kathy Rashid, and I'd like to recommend Robert Daly, a good friend. The reason that I would recommend Bob is that he, to me, his work is very authentic. His relationship with his work is really about his relationship with the world. His work is the way he explores the world. It's a really genuine interaction with the world. So it's the way he asks questions and explores the answers. And that makes his work always alive in a certain way, and the viewer ends up having to participate in exploring that question. To talk about Bob's work with Bob is a very mind-bending experience. And the questions he asks are not just one that's spectral, and they're always very profound. And so those discussions always lead to a very deep place. I think his practice and his relationship with his art is something that I would aspire to as an artist, and maybe a lot of artists aspire to. Hi, Bob.